Welcome back, ghost hunters and thrill seekers. In today's chilling episode, we're diving into a couple's terrifying experience after purchasing what seemed like the perfect apartment, only to discover it was haunted. Prepare yourselves for a journey into the unknown as we unravel the spine-tingling tale of their ghostly encounters. You won't want to miss this one. My husband and I got a crappy apartment in 2005. We had a handshake deal to work on the place in exchange for reduced rent, but we're absolute fools and didn't get it in writing, which means we were paying full price for a place that had literal holes in the walls. We had to keep the couch in one specific place against an exterior wall, or there was a brisk draft, and windows that were nailed shut because the latches were broken. There was one bedroom, a very small room we used as an office, and a huge pantry. There was a window that had been sided over. The entire window situation of the place was messed up and weird. The bedroom had a huge dent in the plaster and lathe wall that... Look, I went to Catholic school. The school was in a former convent, and the blackboards were plaster and lath walls painted with chalkboard paint with trim around them. The 7th grade teacher flipped out at one point and grabbed a kid's head and smacked it into the wall. This was super weird, as it was not a school that did any kind of corporal punishment, but, it was the 90s. The bedroom had a dent exactly like that. I refused to go into the basement, and I didn't really like sleeping in the bedroom. I have horrible insomnia and spend a lot of time unable to get to sleep and/or unable to get back to sleep. And it was really rough when I'd look over and see a little kid, about 4 to 6 years old, staring at me quietly, just standing there and staring. Light skin, thick, straight black hair, eyes completely shadowed, but I could still tell he was looking at me. It felt like he wanted something, but I could never figure out what. The previous tenant had left some stuff behind, asked if we could hold on to it for him. He came back after we'd been there a few months. I asked why he'd moved out, and he said he was tired of having family come visit Chicago and insist on staying with him, so he moved into a large studio close to where he worked. And the best part is, it's not haunted. Okay, bud, hold up. So we talked a little bit, and he described the same thing, waking up at night to see a little kid staring at him. He hated the basement, too. There were a few other things that happened. Once I was utterly overcome with a huge feeling of dread. I have an anxiety disorder, so I'm used to suddenly freaking out for no reason, but this wasn't like that at all. It's like something had a hold of me inside. I'd experienced lower levels of the feeling in that place before, a sick feeling that I'd never experienced previously and haven't experienced since. My husband was visiting family, and I called him and made him come home, which is very out of character for me. I'm really used to being alone, and also I hate interrupting his family time. He came home, and the next day busted out some of his tools. He'd noticed some of the outlets weren't grounded and fixed them. That feeling completely stopped, and I've never felt it again. So, did that contribute to things? And why did I and the previous tenant have the same experience? I also saw inexplicable dark shadows there, once one that flew through the air, as opposed to being on a wall or ceiling. I thought a bat had gotten in or something. It swooped behind a heavy piece of furniture, and I went and moved furniture around looking for it. There was nothing. I'm bipolar and have auditory hallucinations sometimes, so it's possible that was a visual hallucination. I really don't know. I've seen weird, shadowy stuff at other places, but never that often or that solid seeming. Is it a brain thing or something that's really there? I really dislike not knowing.